Greetings from the University of Pittsburgh. My name is Nicole Constable. I'm an anthropologist, professor, author, and frequent visitor to Hong Kong over the past 35 years. I had the pleasure of meeting many of you this summer for the launch of my latest book, Born Out of Place: Migrant Mothers and the Politics of International Labor. PathFinders offered a key entree into the world of migrant mothers for me. For 15 months, from 2010 to 2012, I learned from PathFinders clients and became increasingly impressed by what PathFinders is doing. They have responded wisely and sensitively to the mothers' and children's needs. Not only do they offer personal support and help meet mothers' daily needs for shelter, food, and clothing, but they also advocate for systemic change at local and international levels. They're currently addressing the critical problem of home country integration, working on microfinance programs in Indonesia to help mothers when they return there with their children. Now let me say a little bit about Born Out of Place. The book makes 3 main points. The first point is that migrant workers are people too. Young women in their 20s and 30s, at the prime time to have relationships and children, cannot be expected to simply be workers. They have the right to a life, to love, to raise children the way they see fit. The second main point of the book is that policies often have unintended consequences. Hong Kong's policies are intended to make sure that domestic workers remain there temporarily, but in fact these rules often have the opposite effect. For example, the 2-week rule is meant to ensure domestic workers leave within 2 weeks of the termination of their contracts. But because of this rule, many workers overstay, especially if their contracts are terminated early. They may choose to work illegally because they owe money to employment or loan agencies, or because they need to support their families. The third main point of the book is what I call the migratory cycle of atonement. Migrant workers who become mothers face very difficult, painful, and impossible choices in relation to their children and their futures. If they go home, especially those from Central and Eastern Java, they face serious stigma as single mothers with children who are assumed to be born out of wedlock. Often the only way to respond is to leave the child with someone else, find a way to migrate again, and send money home to make up for these problems. In closing, let me say this population deserves help. The vulnerable deserve our compassion. This is not just a Hong Kong problem, but Hong Kong, as Asia's world city, Hong Kong people can be leaders in dealing with this problem fairly, responsibly, and with compassion. Thank you for coming to this event. Thank you and congratulations to PathFinders for all they do, and thank you for your support of the mothers and the babies. Please give generously to this most worthy and important project. Thank you.